And there we go. With this, hi guys, it looks like we are live. How's everybody doing? We'll pick this up and we're gonna start by walking up this hill here towards the mountain. Good morning, everybody. Can anybody guess where we are? I've got a bit of a confession for you guys. So I was using every single red light available to send you guys stuff in the chat and say hello, because I was very, very behind. I got stuck in a beautiful mossy forest this morning and started our morning at around 4 a.m. doing a 4K walk for you guys to add to this adventure. And once these daily live streams wrap up, I'm gonna start uploading the 4K walks that we've done. And this morning's was such a gorgeous and spectacular place. And we're gonna start today's live stream with just a little bit of weirdness. So can anybody guess what area we're out in right now? And yes, you're right, it is not raining. That is correct. Oh, how happy I am that we have no rain this morning. Look at this. Look at the area that we're in. And if one of the mods could go to our Patreon Discord and add Hotaka, I'd love to be reminded of that. Because I haven't made it. It's been go, go, go. I actually filmed 3 videos total yesterday. And yes, we're in the area of Nagano. This is where we're starting out this morning. Got a little water right here. And today, as we check out the weird, I'm also going to share weird stories. Stories of weird Japan, weird experiences, and everything in between. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Give that like button some love. And if you're watching afterwards, please just say hello in the comments. Let me know that you're there. One of the things that I've been talking about that I love about these live stream adventures is that I get to connect and get to know so many of you. So many of us have managed to form bonds and connections over the years through these chats. So chat away, and in the comments afterwards, please leave me some and say hello. Again, a huge thanks to you all for being here. And as you can see, we're already starting with a little bit of weirdness. That's right. It's actually tinier than I expected. Like considerably tinier than I expected. So let's start with this little walking trail right here. So with this, does anybody know where we are? We are in Nagano area. Does anybody know which part of Nagano we're in right now? If you take a look at this, there's a ton for us to explore today. And Aaron Michelin here, kicking off the live stream super chat with, will you be streaming live on Father's Day? Is that I don't know what day that is. I've lost track of all days. But considering that I am in Japan, even if I did, that would mean I'm streaming the next one. I don't know, but there will be content coming out on this channel pretty much every day for the next week or so. So thank you so much for kicking off those super chats. Great to see you here. And GB Crush Kamakura is not in the area of Nagano. We're not too far off from Chino right now. We're right near Chino and Suako. And this is, well, here's some of the weirdness we're starting with. This here is what is called the flying mud boat. Now, if you want to get an idea of exactly where we are, you can go to Google Maps around the Sua Lake area and type in flying mud boat, and this will pop up. And yep, nice set of solar panels here. I'm just glad I don't have to carry an umbrella today. Look, I have a free hand. I can wave it around and I can be all crazy with it. It's wonderful. But there is this right here. This is the flying mud boat, which is, can anybody guess without Googling it, if you Google it, I will know, what the purpose of this is? And Sarah Ramos, how you doing? Great to see you back. This has been a lovely way to start summer break and reconnect with everyone. Thank you. Yeah, to everybody who like connects with each other here as well, I absolutely love that. To those of you who have like formed little sub-communities and whatnot, I adore you for it. Yeah, it looks like a birdhouse. It definitely does. Let's get in a little bit closer. And to Sachi, long time no see. How are you? Of course I remember you. Sachi is a long time viewer in here. Thank you for keeping the super chat ball rolling. Sachi's been along for many of our adventures, both through Tokyo and around the countryside. Let's punch in a little here. And Sachi has actually come out to Tokyo Lens meetups at the studio and shamisen performances with Kiki and whatnot. Maybe it detects earthquakes. For storing rice, all of these are fantastic guesses. We'll come back and I'll share that with you after I poke my head through this little tunnel here, which is of course laced with spider web. Okay, I saw something else over here and I thought that this would lead to it. And Eva-chan in here as well saying, hopefully you've got cash if you need a drink. Oh, I think I put some in a pocket somewhere. I'm just not sure which pocket. Yesterday was a little tough, so I put some in a pocket to prep. But okay, got a little hut out here and another house up above over here. And do you guys know why they do the charred wood? That is quite the treehouse. Can we step up without falling? Might be the best treehouse ever. So waterproofing is a small part of it. However, using the charred wood on the side here actually helps to deter bugs. And from this side, it literally looks like it's just a roof sitting on the ground. I love that it's just like built right into, oh, what a great way to kick things off. Absolutely love it. I do have cash in my pockets somewhere. I just need to figure out, honestly, which pocket and where I put it. I have no idea. I'm searching through my pockets as we do this, because I'm sure it is somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna check my little wallet thing, because it might be in here. That would make sense for me to put it in there. And because it would make sense for me to put it in there, it is not in there. Because why would I do anything that makes sense? All right, so coming back to the flying mud boat over here. And to those of you just catching the live stream right now, great to have you here. Please give that like button some love. And Sparky Santos, keeping that super chat ball rolling, keeping our live streams rolling. Thank you so much. Was typing and what I typed disappeared for post stream. Oh no. And Rockaway Siren. Rockaway Siren. I want to remember that name. Rockaway Siren. In here saying hello from Toronto, Ontario. I'm also from that area. It's not a bad area to be from. So over this way, we would have Lake Sua. And we've done some beautiful live streams out in Lake Sua. But this here flying mud boat. Oh, look at that. I was wondering how they get into it, and they've just got ladders there. I was wondering if it was on some kind of pulley system. But this here flying mud boat. Also, Rockaway, thank you so much for keeping that super chat ball rolling. This here flying mud boat, as Kirsten has cheated and informed everybody, is actually a tea house. And you can like reach out to the owner. It's a private owner, rent it out, kind of experience. Oh God, GB Crush. And you can go in there and check it out and experience it. And it is by far one of the most unique and weird things that I've seen here in Japan. And I thought it would be a really great way to kick off the theme of today's live stream. So today, now that we've seen this, we'll say bye. It's been good. And I have the free hand to say bye because I don't have an umbrella. It's lovely. So yay, yay. And Slices of Japan saying, never would have guessed that was a tea house, LOL. How do they boil the water for the tea up there? I'm guessing they probably use like a portable stove or something like that. So, starting with Weird Japan experiences. I think Weird Japan is not a foreign concept. It feels weird to say it that way because, you know, it's specifically that is the foreign concept. It's foreign. But I want to see which way we're going to go. There's this little path here, and I kind of want to take this path a little bit and see where. And how do you get in this tea house? Using the ladders that I showed like a minute ago. That's how you get in. They would have climbed up through there. So we're gonna come down through here and just do a bit of exploration and see where it takes us. And then we're gonna get down into the town and check out some beautiful shrines in the area. They had a chimney, so there could be a small stove in there. Entirely possible. So one of the very first weird experiences I've ever had in Japan, if you are a long-time viewer, you will probably know this story. If you've come out to a Patreon event, you've almost certainly heard it. But I lived in this tiny apartment. It was like 4.5 tatami, and it was in the back streets of Asakusa. And oddly, at like 2, 3 in the morning, you would have a lot going on in that area. You'd have Charamera ramen carts coming through and blowing their music and selling ramen on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning. But one of my favorite memories was me hearing somebody drunkenly laughing or singing or something. And I opened the window and they looked up, and it was this middle-aged man in a wig and full dress who looked up and was like, "Foreigner!" I was like, hi. Like, at first I was trying to sleep. It's a bit crappy that someone was making so much noise. Also, again, it's telling me we don't have any signal. I don't know if it's true, so if we have signal, just type solar panel so that I know that you can hear me. We got plums. You guys see the plums? Okay, we've got solar panels. Fantastic. And so then this gentleman proceeded to calm me down and be like, "Ishoni no mo, let's drink." And I was new in Japan. I was up for new and exciting experiences, and so I went with him to a tiny snack bar down the road from my house, which I'd never been to. And when we got in, there was a gentleman behind the bar instead of a lady who was fully covered in tattoos. And my cross-dressing friend turns to me and goes, "Be careful, he's Japanese Yakuza." And like, I looked at the guy like, is he joking or is he serious? I don't remember if I got a response, but I then had a couple drinks and stumbled off, going back to bed. But it was this one just random weird experience on my very first time living in Japan. And that is our first weird story of the day. And Slices of Japan in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling. Thank you so much. Saying, "Hope you're doing well, Norm. Stay awesome. Thank you for showing us another hidden gem. Take this from morning beverages and your favorite egg sandwich." Slices of Japan, nothing but love. Thank you so much for that. I do want to, I want to go into the mountain area, but I know if we go into the mountain area, 100% we're going to lose signal. So we're going to come down this way and start exploring as many of the shrines and temples of the area as we can. So, do any of you have weird Japan memories, weird Japan stories, weird Japan experiences? You can leave them in the chat, but if you're leaving them after, I want to see it in the comments. I want to know what the weirdest Japan memory you have is. What is your weirdest Japan experience? What weird thing happened to you? And so, looks like there's more to go up this way, but it's blocked off at the moment, so we'll just keep walking down this way and figure it out. In the mountain, you will put in video? Yes? Maybe? So one of the other, while living in Asakusa that first year, one of the other kind of interesting experiences I had is Asakusa, the really traditional area of Tokyo, has a lot of semi-famous characters, if you will. Each kind of area of Japan has its characters. You get the Tiger Man out in Shinjuku. You get the always dressed in samurai blue with a helmet guy out in Shibuya. You get the random Japanese man who just rides the Yamanote line in a schoolgirl uniform. Tokyo has these really just well-known characters. And I wonder, I kind of want to walk through here, but I also feel like it just might lead to somebody's house. And I don't want to bother people's homes. So I think we'll go down this way for now, just to be safe. All right. So all these people, now there's a comment here that these people are the main characters. like some of them just do it like once or twice and then they're done. But some of them, this is like their daily life thing. And when you run into them, you're like, oh, it's kind of like a collection. Like when you meet other people in Japan, you're like, oh, do you know about this person? Have you seen this person? And it kind of feels like your own like bingo card. Let's punch in a bit here. Let's punch in more. There we go. I wonder if the owner of that hut lives here. Because it just looks like it's built the same. Ah, wrong way, wrong way. Oh, loving that view. Well, when I was in Asakusa, Asakusa has quite a few well-known characters. There is a homeless lady who is always on the streets of Asakusa, kind of bent in half, and wears makeup every day, despite being homeless. She's always really, but she'll like lay on a bag that's just on the ground and just always be there. But other than that, she's always got her makeup on. That's one of them. But one of the most weird ones for me is a gentleman who walks around in a German war uniform, like a German army uniform, with swastikas on his arms and whatnot. And I don't know how it has not caused problems for him, but hey, cool. And definitely not, by the way. And then there was a gentleman who existed only for a very short period of time. It was a rather pudulent gentleman, a rather round gentleman who always wore a very, very stained white tank top and had like a curled handlebar mustache. And Team Bliss DK says, does the super chat get me the last 3 kanji? Are there 3 missing kanji? What were the original kanji? What did we miss? And this gentleman was known, and I didn't know this at the time. If you make eye contact with him, he's like a monkey. You make eye contact with him and he'll be like, go into attack mode. And so one day while I was doing some shopping, I came across this gentleman and made the mistake of making eye contact with him. And in Japanese, he suddenly starts grumbling at me, what, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? And I was just thrown aback. I was very surprised. I had no idea what was going on. And so I low-key kind of froze up for a second and was just like, And he's like, come on, boy, I'm strong. I'm strong. And like, as he said that, his belly was like jiggling and I couldn't help but kind of chuckle. And he was not super amused by the chuckle, but every single time I told this to one of my local friends in Asakusa, they're like, oh yeah, that's dirty shirt guy. Or yeah, that's mustache guy. And so he was just one of the local known characters in the Asakusa area. And they're like, yeah, don't ever make eye contact with him. You make eye contact and he comes for you. So in the end, he obviously was harmless. I'm still here. Nothing happened. But from the sign when you asked where you were, I said the first 3 kanji, kara kuramichi, and then couldn't read the last 3 kanji on the sign. Oh no. Okay, I'm very far away from the sign now. I think you can go back and look at it, and if you can't, then you definitely can in the replay. So hopefully you'll be able to see it there. I'm so sorry. I totally missed that. And I'm loving how the mountains look. Also, just how I love how houses are built up, villages are built up the side of the mountains. Like this. Oh, nope, too much. Like that. And huge love to Nathaniel Williams for keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, hey, love your vids, watching from Iowa, USA. Nathaniel, great to have you here. Thank you so much. Glad to have you in the community. Oh, it's just such a relief to not have rain. We are in the rainy season, so I came fully expecting it. But to be able to have at least one day break where I don't have to carry an umbrella. Also, I might have bought a snowboard yesterday. That's like, so there, when you're out in the Nagano area, there's a lot of ski and snowboarding areas, and every now and then, I like swinging into thrift shops, what can I say? And every now and then you'll find something incredible. And I got a snowboard, binding, and boots in fairly decent condition, which I'll mostly use for just practice and messing around, for like 15 bucks. Just spectacular. And then it looks like we have a scrapyard here. And it's such a waste. Like, you get genuinely nice bicycles out here in this scrapyard, like the kid's bike. It's a little rusted, yeah, but it's in good condition. Have all these bikes down here, just scrapped. I got a road bike down there. Obviously the tire's kind of dead and it could use some work, but. And then you have the beginnings of what will eventually become the Springfield Tire Fire. And a whole bunch of lumber over here. I've actually been working on something for my studio and been making several trips to buy up lots of lumber. And it's a slow kind of background process that I'm doing, but I've spent way too much time with lumber lately. Just a bit of a lumber and scrapyard there. All right, I think down around here, we're going to, oh, maybe some of this is for sale. Interesting. There's just a whole bin of like turbos and stuff over there. That's incredible. Get yourself a little Yanmar tractor, generator, small or large. I'm glad that it's not all going to scrap, so who knows, maybe you could come to the scrapyard and pick yourself out a little bicycle there for a decent price. Very interesting. All right, coming back this way, we should have a whole set of shrine adventures back here. And have the cicadas arrived. They're alive and well in Kentucky. Yeah, actually in Tokyo, the cicadas arrived really early. I was getting some cicadas in my area as early as May. It was kind of crazy and a little loud, but I was gonna send this long super chat, but it was 400 characters and over the limit. That is long. Leave me. Just break it up into pieces in like normal messages. I'll try to catch it. As we're walking to the shrines, we've definitely got time, and I have the free hand, so I can read chat and get to know you guys a little bit more. And obviously, you'll never be done learning, but you're doing well. Aw. See, I love you guys supporting each other. Team Bliss, absolute love and thanks to you for supporting other people in the chat like that. Love it so much. Have you been camping out in a K-truck or camper van? So this time I've actually been camping out in like a full-size camper van, which has made the trip both easier and moderately harder. The easier is at least I have a full like table and space in the back with air conditioner and fridge and everything. I can store my food. I can do all of that, and I can sit down and work. I can put together thumbnails. I can offload footage. I can do everything that I would need to do in comfort and have a big sleeping space, and it is absolutely lovely. The downside being that when I want to get into abandoned areas and abandoned villages, more often than not, the roads are really low with tree overhang, and I've got to take extra caution and care because the center of gravity on the camper van is considerably higher and its profile is much wider. But this one is not like a huge camper van. This one is like a medium size. So it's like maybe a bit bigger than that truck. It's about 3 meters tall, so it's considerably bigger than that truck. But it has been absolutely fantastic. You see, the big camper van that I used before was definitely too big to get into most spaces. And the tiny K camper van that I've used for years is lovely. But you know what, guys? I think there's like a space behind us here that I want to get to. I don't feel like I'm on the right road. Maybe we can get into it from this little alleyway here. I think we can. We'll come up this way. I think I missed a turn at some point. I got distracted and excited by that scrapyard, and I wanted to walk back here more in nature. But the big camper van was too much. The little camper van was sometimes too little. It's great for shorter and mid trips, but when I did the 1,000,000 seconds trip across Japan, it was a lot to sleep in that thing for 11 days or something. Yeah. See, this is where I wanted to walk. I missed this little pathway right here. Okay, but now we're back on track. I've actually got an Instagram reel on the actual camper van that I use. So if you go to instagram.com/Tokyo_1, you'll be able to see it there. And you can actually see like what it's like inside. That's what I use this time. And when the live stream wraps up, I will toss like a link to it in the description box because it's been that easy to use. And I'm so grateful for them to always hook me up with something to help me get around Japan. We got a little shrine here, and it's spectacular. It is quite nice. Okay, so I want to go through Catherine's. Okay, so we got part one. My most epic story was I was adopted by a random couple while walking around myself in Kagoshima. They took me to the beautiful overlook to see Sakurajima and a local cafe for lunch. And they proceeded to take me home to grandma for dinner, where I was given way to much shochu and kimchi nabe, sang Nirvana with the handsome grandson. This is quite the story coming together. Also, I saw a question in here. Denise saying, would you recommend a camper van for the average visitor to try? Oh no, the chat moved and I lost it. Or is that expert level driving experience? So if you're nervous about driving, I would go with one of the K camper vans. It'll make it a lot easier. If you're comfortable driving, the one that I have right now is completely fine. And if you're really comfortable with driving, a bigger camper van would be completely okay. The one that I am using right now is fine enough level. Like, you've got enough space on both sides of the road that you don't feel like you're a transport truck taking up the entire thing. You don't feel that nervous. The K camper van is super easy, but you really need to utilize the engine brakes when coming down the hills and mountains. Oh, guys, I just noticed a little set of stairs here, and they're hidden. And just because they're hidden On the stair rating, I will give them an 8 out of 10 because hidden stairs are always the best stairs. If you haven't given that like button already, do so. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you, and we're doing new vids and streams every single day this week. So, there we are. Danger stairs, yep. Going up is no problem. Coming down, the stairs just stop. So, there we go. Brings us up to Little Mini Shrine here. Little Mini Shrine is a handsome dude. How you doing, Mini Shrine? Looking good today. But it also looks like kind of a path continues up here. Do we continue into the forest? Hiking boots needed. Hiking boots. Hiking booted. All right. A lot of this adventure has taken me into areas like this that most certainly require some form of hiking boot. Okay. I thought maybe there would be a path this way, but it just kind of stops. There's a secret extra part of the shrine up here. And this looks moderately walkable. Why wouldn't we? It's a narrow path, but it's still better than the route out to the abandoned village with the hermit living in it, so. Cool. But it does have some fallen trees over here. I don't feel like we're meant to go too far into this. So, still a pretty decent start. I like it. Hidden little mini shrine adds to the weirdness. Wasn't expecting it. Absolutely love it. Whoa. There we are. Do you ever see any foxes? Yes. Yeah, I've seen many foxes in Japan. Actually, this morning, before we started this stream, I had woken up at around 4 o'clock in the morning to record we almost slipped all the way down there. Oh, this will be so, it won't be the first time we've gone down on a stream or video, and definitely wouldn't be the last, but I would just kind of prefer not to. If I had a choice in the matter, I would choose not falling. There we are. What degree of slope would this be? I'd say we've got, like here we've probably got a good like between 20 and 30 degree slope. So it's not that bad. Here we've got a solid like 45 to 50 degree. That's more of a drop. And here is like a very gentle incline that we're gonna hope that we don't fall down as we'll just take it easy and slow. We're not, and the rocks are very roly poly rocks. Make your feet go slip. Okay, so we're gonna utilize these little poles here and lock our toes against them, because that just feels like the safest way to go down at the moment. And without that, also for those of you who were not able to tune in for yesterday's stream, we went over a recent occurrence on this adventure of me narrowly escaping a bear that I accidentally spooked, and then getting covered in 15 plus leeches. And that whole story is in yesterday's stream. I think we have more shrines up here as well. Let's just keep exploring and find out. What a beautiful area though. Today's live stream was actually not intended to be in this area. I had a different area planned, but I was kind of inspired by our chat yesterday. You see, in our chat, the comment came up that the area around Suako, Lake Sua, is just filled with hidden gems. It's an area very worth exploring. And I thought, you know what? Let's go to a section of it that we haven't explored yet and do that. And see, I haven't come across ticks yet in Japan. Leeches? Yeah. Ticks? No issue yet. Oh, love the tree. Yeah, you gotta love that, right? We've got our city walks. We get lag and delays. And our forest walks, just peace. And today we are out near the area of Suako. Night Chicken, good to see you in here. How you doing today? We're taking just this really, oh no, what have I done? My gimbal's trying to turn around. There we go. Every now and then I'll accidentally hit the wrong button and the gimbal will just like start this slow turn towards me. Whew. Look at the area we're walking though. So what time is it for everybody right now? By the way, while you're answering, do me a favor, give the like button some love. And it looks like we've got another shrine or temple right over here. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh guys, let's go enjoy this. Oh, that's so nice. Well, that lady's trying to take a photo. I'll get out of the way of her photo. You know what? Let's take the side trip around and view it from down below. So for a lot of people, it's kind of evening right now with a few people watching in the morning. I always want to nail down like what's going to be the best time for most of you to enjoy this. Holy, I'm loving this area. This is really giving me the Magomejuku Tsumagojuku Nakasendo vibes. What a peaceful place. And dear fathers, huge love to you for keeping that super chat ball rolling. Thank you so much. Saying, thanks for the vids. Love to see them. Someday I'll make it out to Japan. But as fast as my cool places list fills, I may never get to leave. Honestly, that was me at one point. That right there was exactly me. Someday I'll make it out to Japan. See, I heard something once that kind of stuck with me, and there's only two people that you need to make proud. And I was sharing this with somebody yesterday, and it turned into a really meaningful conversation. And so I wanted to share it with you guys today. They say there are only two people. Oh, there's so many places for us to go that you need to make proud. It's not your mom, your dad, your partner, your friends, your children. It's none of those people. You don't need to make any of those people proud. The only two people you really need to make proud are the 8-year-old version of yourself and the 80-year-old version of yourself. And I decided to take stock and ask myself, am I doing that? And I would go ahead and very unabashedly say to you guys that I am currently the 8-year-old version of myself. Like this is 8-year-old Norm right now. 8-year-old Norm wanted to go to Japan. 8-year-old Norm wanted to go around and explore and walk through forests. 8-year-old Norm wanted to just play N64 and Nintendo games and have fun. 8-year-old Norm loved creating stuff. My grandfather had a wall of tools in his basement, and I would always go down and just use scrap wood and spare parts and just kind of build stuff. And 8-year-old Norm loved that. And I would say to him, someday I want to, go to Japan. I want to live in Tokyo. I want to explore the country. And here I am now, making 8-year-old Norm proud, hopefully. I feel like I am. And hopefully we can capture enough stuff along the way to make 80-year-old Norm just as proud. It's moments like where we get to share walks that some people will never get to do, or do stuff like meet Shimayama-san and record the history of his life and then rebuild his shop. These little things, I feel, kind of add to that. Here's the entrance right here to the shrine. All right. Love, love, love this. Oh boy. Let's start our walk up here. We definitely came in. It was a good idea to come down the side and come in from here. Love that. Did we add something to the list of normisms? What got added? But that really stuck with me. Like, aim to make the 8-year-old version of you and the 80-year-old version of you proud. And our childhood really, really sticks with us. Like, whenever I meet people who are, in their 80s, 70s, and whatnot, and I have them share their stories, they will often default to talking about something from childhood that stuck with him. If you remember Izumi-san, the hermit who lived in the abandoned village, that story there was actually a huge, huge learning experience for me, because the one thing that he wanted to talk about more than anything at his age was not his accomplishments in life, was not the home he had, was not his lifestyle in the village. The one thing he wanted to share with me more than anything is what his childhood was like growing up in that village. The vast majority of off-camera stories as we were having dinner and drinks and everything was just him talking about growing up in that village, his childhood. And these stairs, these are gonna get a solid 9 out of 10, just because, look at them. How can these not get a 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10 is a very fair rating for these stairs. And so listening to this old Japanese hermit living in this village, sharing stories from his childhood, kind of got me thinking. It kind of planted the seed that I think made that 8-year-old, 80-year-old thing stick with me. Because since meeting him, I spent a great deal of time looking back at our conversations and just thinking how much he put into the memories of his childhood and how much those memories have impact on us. Love this place. And there's still so much more to explore. So we're gonna keep going up here because it should keep getting better and better. Moss leading up to a shrine, easy 9 out of 10. Yeah, hands down, no argument. Absolutely. We've got another, we've got another little shrine tucked into here. Oh, love, 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 love it. I think we're on to a pretty good walk with this. And Slices of Japan saying, I'll endeavor to make both versions of me as proud as a punch. Thank you for the wise words, Norm. Hey, not even my words. It's just something I learned that stuck with me, and if it could have even half the impact on me that half the impact on you that it's had on me. I'm glad I could share it with you. That's really what it means. You know, I've been thinking a lot about that as well. Like, as humans, what's the point? What is the goal? We spend our life kind of watching other humans, right? We sit in classrooms from a young age to watch and listen to a human share knowledge that they've accumulated from other humans for the purpose of becoming a self-sufficient human. And then we try to do slightly. Our parents' goal is to make us a slightly better version of them. Maybe capitalize on knowledge and failure to make life a little easier, a little more successful with a little more knowledge. You know, even things like our understanding of science and whatnot, like in each of our lifetimes, has grown significantly. And so all of it is just humans watching other humans for the purpose of becoming a better group of humans than the group before us. And in some ways we succeed, and in some ways we fail. And I think it's all give and take. But being able to collectively share our knowledge, our experiences, our wins, our losses, I think it's one of the reasons why we enjoy consuming content, right? Because we get to use it. Oh, this gives like Totoro forest vibes right here. This is why we enjoy consuming content. It's why we enjoy watching other people. It serves as a guidepost to our own mental state, our own, how, you know, ha 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 ha. GB crush. Kamakura Michi. Kamakura. I thought you meant the other Kamakura. I hadn't even looked on the map. I just saw a bunch of shrines and a boat without paying attention to the name of the... It's Kamakura. GB crush, I love you. I'm sorry. Kamakura Michi. Beautiful. And so we get to kind of take a look at the world around us and say, you know, how are we doing? Where do we fit? Are we doing okay? And learn little tiny things from other people. Sometimes we overconsume. Sometimes we get, you know, we swipe a bit too much and do a little less living and a little more content consumption. But in the end, I think the goal, other than obvious escapism, is just to kind of learn from each other. So picking up something like that had value to me and being able to share it, I'm glad that a few of you... Would 8-year-old Norm jump in a puddle? Actually, no. 8-year-old Norm was not a puddle jumper whatsoever. 8-year-old Norm did... I get way dirtier now than 8-year-old Norm ever did. Katie C saying, I hate how much swiping I do. Katie, I think we all get you on that. Like, hands up in the chat if you also feel like you probably do too much swiping. We all kind of do. I actually do everything in my power to not consume social media. I try and keep my swiping to the odd entertainment thing here and there. There's, you know, a few things I find funny, but if I can, try to make it educational. But then at what point does educational swiping just turn into mind-numbing swiping, right? So it's all about a balance. And as somebody who puts out social media content, having the goal to consume less of it is actually always kind of in the back of my mind. So yeah, see a lot of hands up there. I uninstalled Instagram because of it. See, I've imposed daily limits on my usage for everything. So and then, so what we have here is Suwa Taisha, ne? Suwa Shrine. And then back here would literally just lead us into a forest. street has bodyguards? It's a good question in here of, do you have a personal mantra that you live by? And for me, it's a tough choice. This is the Kamakura Michi, and as much as I want to go down and explore some of the streets right near the shrine there, this also just feels like it'd be a really good walk for us to do. So we're gonna walk into here. It's also telling me again that I have no signal, but I don't believe it. So if you're receiving this transmission, say Mossy Rock in the comments. That way I'll know that you're still there. Because it's like, transition has stopped due to unstable. I think the app just needs some work. Personal mantra that I live by. I don't know if I could put it all into just like one neat phrase, but two things that are kind of always in the back of my mind is just keep moving forward. Like, you fall down, get up. You have a bad day, still do the work. Don't feel like contacting that person, contact them anyway, etc. That's like one of the kind of background noise values that I've got. But the other one is the people around me who help out and kind of help push this forward. The people who have been the silent supporters. You see, when I started YouTube and I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave my full-time job to make internet videos. That's gonna be my job now. I expected a lot more pushback from family and friends and people around me. People being like, what in the world are you talking about? But everybody was really supportive. And there's this street athletics stretch bench, which looks like it would just be absolutely terribly painful. But you see, at first, this kind of threw me off because I was expecting pushback. I guess a lot of us do, but in the end, it tells me how much better than me everybody around me was doing, because not once in my life have I ever been judged for what I do by anyone who's doing better than I am. The only people who are going to judge you are the people who are doing worse than you. It's the weird little way of them holding you back. Those are the only people who tell you to stop what you're doing. That's cringe. That's dumb. Why are you doing that? You will never, ever, ever be judged for trying to improve your life by somebody who is ahead of you, by somebody who has done it, someone who is doing better than you because they've been through that path. And so I was unanimously, that's the word, supported by everybody around me, which tells me I did a great job at surrounding myself with good people. But this also kind of threw me for a loop at the time, because expecting that pushback was kind of taken aback, thrown off. I was expecting to like prove someone wrong, and I didn't need to do that. If anything, I need to prove everybody right, and that's a different type of pressure. And it took me a little while to adjust to that. But that's why when the channel hit 1 million views, I made a little thing specifically, not only thanking you guys for being here, but not 1 million views, 1 million subs on the main channel. I gave a very, very special thank you to the trolls, the haters, because whether you love me or whether you claim to hate me, they're still there. They still watch. They still use their time to talk about me. I take up so much real estate in the mind of, and that's one of the nice things about, like, if you can get that mindset is beautiful. I just don't trust the transmission anyway. If you can see this video, please say Blue House. But I'd said, like, you know, in the immortal words of Rick Sanchez, every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem. And it truly, truly does. I have watched creator friends of mine absolutely struggle and take long breaks or even leave social media just because of people hating on them. But in the end, the more you think about me, the more you secretly like me. You might say you can't stand me, but you're still here watching. You're still here. Go ahead, click that down button, vote button. It's still engagement on the video. Like, go nuts. In fact, heck, I invite as many of you as you want to right now to do the exact same thing. Just go ahead, downvote it. It's still engagement on the video. It's not going to stop it. It's not going to impact it. YouTube is like, ooh, this video created some controversy. If anything, you're going to lift it. And so this mindset of like, whether you love me or hate me, you're still here watching is one of the things that pushes forward. But for all of those who support me, for all of those who have always been like, hey, you're going to do way better at this than you would at an office job. Yeah, that'll be much better for you. You should do it. I try to give back value to those people. And that's kind of, I don't know if that's kind of my mantra or what it is. Even for those who support on Patreon, I try to do more live streams. I try to have Patreon only meetups. When we were in Animazement, you know, we started with one meetup and then a night of drinking and then coffee in the morning and, you know, kind of connecting with these people and doing what I can to give back. For those who really helped me out at Animazement, I did what I could to get them staff passes and behind the scene access and stuff like that. And for those in my life who I feel helped build up the channel to where it is now, when the main channel hit 1 million, I originally didn't want to have a party. Instead, I wanted to get something special and significant for every single person who I felt helped get there, who I felt, and that for me was much more important than like getting a whole bunch of people in a room and throwing some celebration party that's like, look, I've accomplished something. And so I spent a few months just kind of reconnecting and getting to know the people around me even more, finding out what they wanted or needed in their life, finding what would have like a positive impact for them. And that's how I kind of gave back. And then a bunch of them got together anyway and tried to throw a surprise party. But they tried to throw the surprise party in my own studio, which has like 90 security cameras. And so I totally knew they were doing it. Like I started getting notifications and it was a ton of fun. But so kind of giving back to those who have given to me, trying to keep that value ball rolling. And it's one of the reasons why I always say when we do these streams, like the things like the ad revenue or the super chats or whatever it is that come in, I use those to fund the next leg of the stream. Like so far on this adventure, I've probably put down like, I don't know, 200 in highway fees and another 150 in gas and all that stuff, not to mention food and all that. And all of it just goes right back into doing the next stream, the next video. We are on, I think, day 3 right now, and I have spent morning to night of every single day. This is the 11th piece of content that I've put together for this adventure so far. You've seen 3. There are 2 that will get set aside, 1 that is just a personal piece of content, and all the rest are going to be coming out right here on Tokyo Lens Explorer. And I translated that to dollars. So that was a pretty long answer to that question. Highway fees, yeah, those are tolls. Fees are tolls. Highway costs. So I don't know, my mantra is just give love to those who give love to me. I don't know. Take care of those who have taken care of me. And every now and then, take care of a few new people. Maybe grow the circle a bit. I had a gentleman reach out maybe about 2 years ago. It was like, hey, I'm on a working holiday in Japan and I've pretty much wrapped up the working section of it, and I'd love to just kind of intern, maybe learn a thing or two, maybe help out with a thing or two. I think we can continue going on down this way. And I was in a period where I was like, oh, you know what? I kind of want to do this. Maybe an extra hand would help. And so I invited him into the studio. We got to know each other. And in the process of this, over like 6 months together, we shot a ton of things. We did little adventures. We explored different areas. And we ended up building a friendship. And now he's gone back to his country. And anytime that I'm in the area, we always get together. I always visit him. Anytime that he's got, he really wants to get back to Japan and he's been working hard on it. And I've got me and so many people around me working hard to see if we can, find some way to get him in, find some way to maybe find a loophole or get a business visa going or something like that, because just that 6 months of being like, hey, is there any way I can give you value? I was like, oh, I gotta give value back. So I took him on more adventures, a lot of stuff off camera. Took him to all these places from Tokyo Lens videos that he wanted to check out. Went and visited him when I go back home and stuff like that. So maddening music, keeping that super chat ball rolling. Thank you so much for the super sticker. But I really enjoy that, so. We're just gonna walk down this way and explore whatever we can in the area. Also, it felt to me like we've been streaming for like 25-30 minutes, and somehow it has already been well over an hour. Plus, guys, the exciting thing is I have at least 4 to 5 more pieces of content that I want to shoot for you guys for this trip. So we can have videos for the next week and a half easily coming out pretty much every single day with the odd break, because I've got something pretty cool coming out on Sunday on the main channel that I can't wait to show you guys. So if you guys are looking for just one area to do some peaceful exploration, this here, whoo. Brandon Brack, what's up? This Suwa area, every single spot that we have hit around Suwako, around Lake Suwa, has just been spectacular, and there's so much to see and discover. Just got here late. Did I miss any trains? No trains yet. I don't think there are any train lines out here. We've got another scrapyard, kind of. But this one has stuff growing out of it. We're just gonna keep going. The sun is bright. It's been all rain lately, so the lack of umbrella is happy, but the sun. I saw it yesterday. I got another story for you. So yesterday I found myself, as I often do, in an abandoned village. But this particular abandoned village doesn't appear, not only does this particular abandoned village, that is adorable by the way. Not only does this particular village not appear on any maps, but none of the roads do. So the only way to really find the roads and routes to get there is by getting your hands on old paper maps. And that is a fun challenge all on its own. But as I'm heading out to this abandoned village yesterday in the camper van, I'm finding myself somewhat nervous that it may slip off the side. But the things I found in that abandoned village yesterday, ooh, that video as well will be dropping sometime within the next week or so. And it's one that I cannot wait to share with you guys. Let me just let this car go by. There we go. And it's one that I just, oh, it's gonna be such a great time. I've got so many rocks jammed into my boots that it's like scraping as I walk. It's slightly distracting to me. Some of the maps you can like purchase online, and some of the maps you actually have to go to like old tourist centers, and some of the maps you actually have to go to thrift stores and whatnot. And there's a whole bunch of different ways to get the maps. One of my, believe it or not, go-to for old maps is Yahoo Auction. Japan's Yahoo Auction, people sell everything, including old maps. Ah, dang. So I saw this over here. And at first I just saw the toy part. I was like, oh my God, is it a toy shop? And I didn't look at any of the kanji. And then it said Toyo, so it's not toys, guys. It's not a toy shop. As much as Norm wanted a toy shop to be there, it was not a toy shop. And if we cross over, there's more. Find a place to fix your shoes and your feet will thank you. I have fixed it, thank you. All well and taken care of. And we've got a beautiful, beautiful rice terrace here. I love the rice terraces, especially at night. If you come out to a rice terrace, there's always a ton of frogs. But the abandoned village I went out into yesterday was by far the single loudest place I have ever been to on planet Earth. And it's not really what you would expect, but oh, I love it. It was loud with nature, like frogs, crickets, bugs, birds, you name it. It was deafeningly loud, to the point where I had tried to shoot the video and ended up having to give up and put in noise canceling headphones just to protect my ears. I've been at construction sites with multiple saws and drills going at the same time that were not as loud. My Apple Watch gave me a volume notification, like you have been in an area over 90 decibels or whatever, 100 decibels for this amount of time. Please, you know, reduce volume or something to limit hearing loss. You get like a little notification on your Apple Watch that tells you when your environment is too loud. And oh my, it was really loud. I ended up having to use a lav mic and get like as close to the mic as I could in order to try to limit out some of that noise. Whew. And Pipe 0481 in there keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying hi Norm. Hi Pipe, how you doing? But I'm pretty sure this one little abandoned village that I found yesterday is the loudest place on Earth. It's the loudest place I've been on Earth, and it was Toyosu. I wish it was a toy store. I think we all could have gone for a toy store. All right. We'll skip off into this side street here to get off of the main street. Are there places besides shrines, temples, private property that disallow collecting of stones and rocks? And can you take river crystals and take them home with you? I have never looked that up. I had a rock collection when I was a kid. I no longer collect rocks, but honestly, that would be like a pretty decent topic to Google search and find info on. I would not be able to give you an accurate answer. I would rather not just make one up and then end up getting you in trouble. Whew. Oh, I love all the homes out here. Yeah, loudest place ever by nature was definitely okay. But also, a bit of a warning on that abandoned village video. I did come across a dead boar that had fallen through the floor of the village, of one of the houses. Fallen through the floor of the village. The whole village had a floor, and the boar fell through. And if you don't want to see, it was like in okay condition. It's not like guts were out or anything, but still, we got crickets and frogs coming up over here. And I wonder how any of this connects, if at all. So we're just gonna kind of keep going and hope for the best. Finally catching you live for once. Well, Master Bug, good to have you in here. We were just talking about bugs. Yeah, so, and coming across a dead boar in one of the houses, and it was huge. I guarantee you that thing weighed twice as much as me. But coming across that really kind of put me on alert, especially after the whole bear incident in the amusement park days before. So yeah, that was a ton of fun. But again, I do carry protective equipment. I've just like ended up in a parking lot and I don't know if I can get out of here. It looks like there might be a road over there, but I also don't mean to be in these people's parking lots, so I'm gonna try and eject ourselves from this area as quick as possible. I think we can walk along this little creek here. Usually if it's private property, there will be signs saying, like, do not enter private property, tatsuri kinshi, stuff like that. But also, as long as you're not, like, there with malice, if you're like, oh, sorry, I was just on a walk and I walked through here and didn't know. Most people are really decent about it. Like the other day, I came across, oh, there's so many pieces of content. This one won't be able to come out because I ended up not shooting it, but I came across an abandoned love hotel on the side of the road. But I noticed that there were workers there, and I was like, oh, they're finally tearing it down because of Japan's law of not leaving abandoned buildings up and how they have to be torn down now. And I went in to speak to the workers and I was like, can I ask you some questions? And they're like, if you, yeah, blur us, like don't put us like on camera. I'm like, oh, there is. There's a frog in there. Can we see him? Ooh, he's jumpy. Which means we might even come across more frogs here. Oh, I wanted more frogs. I always enjoy a good frog. And I asked them, what are you guys doing in this place? And their answer actually kind of surprised me. We'll go this way, because that way it will just lead us to the mountain and more factories. Oh, the rice terraces. Don't they have crazy looking raccoons? You mean the tanuki? Yes. Signal jamming frogs. That's what they do. It's actually a key feature of most frogs, is they have signal jamming capabilities. See, before when it told me I had no signal, you guys were able to see me beautifully. And now that it says I have perfect signal, which is now dipping incredibly fast. All right, so if you can still hear me, say wooden shrine in the chat. Because we have disappeared again. Yeah. Okay, so we have wooden shrine with lag. Lovely. We should be back now. That's the hope, at least. Oh, he was really nice. I don't think I can ring the bell. First off, I don't think I'm allowed to go up there. Well, let's go in and take a peek. I love how there's just like a Kuroneko delivery guy coming out to this shrine. And this shrine has art. It's an art shrine. Okay, well, this shrine doesn't like us. It's just killing the signal and lagging. So we'll go back out to civilization, here we go. I also just make up all these songs as we go, but you probably didn't get to hear the song because of all the lag. So the workers for the abandoned love hotel, if you can even hear me right now, they told me they were stripping all the piping and wiring from inside the building. And I was like, oh, is the building coming down? And they're like, no, we're actually refitting with brand new piping and wiring for the entire building so that it can be refreshed and turned into something new. And that was incredibly exciting for me because so many of these abandoned properties end up just getting disposed of, destroyed, thrown away. And to see one that was being revitalized, and it wasn't the only one. I've actually come across several on this adventure that are being repurposed and rebuilt. And we'll just frogger our way across the road. So that's super fun and exciting. And happy feet Hoshizaki in here with the final super chat of the day. Thank you so much for always being here. Really, really appreciate it. And I think a huge theme of this trip has been how many things I'm seeing getting renewed and not disposed of. It's really great to see. I've absolutely been loving it. And with that, guys, always please make sure to leave me something in the comment. What is your weirdest Japan story, experience, memory? Keeping with the theme from the beginning of today, the weirdness. What is the ooh, there's a little thing over here. What is the weirdest thing you have seen, experienced, or heard of in Japan? Please leave it in the comments when the stream wraps up. Oh, Super Stewie came in here, sneaking the absolute last super chat of the day, saying, hey Norm, love the videos. Hope to explore Japan myself one day. You will. You will. Chat, we're putting the pressure. You will. Thank you guys so much. And you know, I'll see you again real soon. They're mowing the lawn over here. And I could not end this stream without going up and seeing that little shrine up there. It just feels absolutely necessary. So we're gonna walk up here and go take a peek at the shrine. Gozaimasu. Looks like it's a nice little walking path up here, actually. What an area! Oh, I absolutely love this. But seriously, when the stream wraps up, don't forget to share your craziest Japan experience. Our little shrine is right here. So with that in mind, kidding. This is a neat little shrine right here. PJ Payne's Minis trying to usurp that final spot for the super chat. Thank you so much for that. We've got another live stream coming early tomorrow. Guys, don't forget, it's gonna be a fun one. Might even start a bit earlier than this one. I hope that your day is absolutely beautiful. And don't forget, I'll see you again. So there's a river over here, and it's got this beautiful, the way it right in the mountains in the, I love this area. Honestly, the Suwa area is just such a gem, and it reminds me of the time that okay, I won't do that. It reminds me of the time that I came out to explore the Abandoned Love Hotel. Actually come out to do the Your Name stream that we did to kind of help kick off this channel. And then we found the Abandoned Love Hotel in the midst of that. And it was an absolute blast. And inside of that Abandoned Love Hotel, do you guys remember when I found the